Hey guys, what's going on? AMG Pat here. So, wanted to make a video to talk to you guys about owning a 2018 E63. As you guys know, I have owned a 2015 E63 for 4 years, and I love that car. It was actually one of my dream cars. I was fortunate enough to be able to get it. I did a lot of modifications. It actually brought me into the AMG world. I was able to create the AMG NYC group. Met a lot of good guys, a lot of cool people. We have over 250 people now in the group today. Anyways, that's a different video, but I really enjoyed my 2015 E63, so much so that I upgraded to the 2018 E63, which I'm driving right now. But just in case, just wanted to give you guys my opinion on, moving from a 2015 to a 2018, what I like about it, what are some things I miss about the 2015. So let's get right into it. So I've had my 2018 E63 from July of 2022. We are now in February of 2024, so a little over a year and a half, and I absolutely love it. So my 2015 was stage 1 Eurocharged. We had black loose intakes, we had stock downpipes. So that car wasn't really purchased for performance. It was more of, I needed a car, I wanted an AMG. It was all-wheel drive and it fit the budget. And at the time, I wasn't really big into performance, so I just did a stage 1 tune on the car. Brooklyn roads are really bad, guys. Holy crap. And I'm in comfort suspension. So anyways, the 2015 was fast. It wasn't really fast. It was fast enough. It was already fast being an E63, but the stage 1 just gave us a little bit more. Now the 2018 E63, we bought it from Brooklyn Auto Sales in Staten Island. If you guys are looking for a performance car, there's no one better in New York, in my opinion. If you want a quality car, good service history, fair price, easy transaction, I highly recommend checking out Brooklyn Auto Sales. Ask for Adam. He's the guy that always hooks me up. My next project, I am 100% going to be getting from those guys. So thank you guys for hooking me up with a good deal. And I love my car. Even to this day, I can still reach out if there's any issues, which there have not been any issues, thank God. But fortunately for me, when I bought the 2018, when I picked it up, the car came with pure 1000 turbos. It had catalyst downpipes. It had an ECU tune from DME Tuning. It had the CPC module from DME. It had the TCU tune from DME, and it also came with 20-inch monoblock wheels, which was lowered on the lowering module. So I got really lucky. I had a good deal on the car. When I got it, it had 22,000 miles, and I have since put quite a bit of miles on the car to the point where now it has 60,000 miles. Now, over the course of the year and a half that I've had it, we had some issues with the car. Some major, some minor. When I first got the car, I did make sure I did an oil change. We did, the first thing I do with all my cars is make sure it's serviced. So we took care of that in the beginning. And within the first 6 months, I put 8,000 miles on the car, which brought me up to 30,000. So we had to do the transmission service. And that was about $600-700 right there. Let me get into the problems that I've had with the 2018. The issues that I've had was we had a rear differential malfunction. Unfortunately for my car, we did have some metal shavings in the rear diff fluid, so we had to replace the rear differential, which was upwards of $6,000. So that was the biggest repair that I've had done on my car. We just had a check engine light a couple months ago. We replaced all the spark plugs, and the car still wasn't running right. There was no check engine light. So we had to do a test on the Mercedes computer, and we found that cylinder 7 had a slight misfire. It was not triggering a check engine light. So we ended up having to replace an ignition coil on the car, which fixed the check engine light. That was the only check engine light that I've had with this car being tuned, catalyst downpipes, and everything else over the course of ownership. That was the only time my check engine light ever came on, so I'm thankful for that. Something else that we did do that was pretty expensive after owning the car for about 8 months, I did replace the front pads and rotors. I got the parts from FCP Euro because they have a lifetime warranty on brakes. So I highly recommend getting your parts from there, because if you need to replace them in the future, you just buy the new parts, return the old ones, and you get a full refund. So in my opinion, it's a no-brainer to purchase from FCP Euro. Again, the brakes were about, I'd say maybe like $1,200. Obviously, you guys know it's an AMG. Everything's expensive in these cars, and you can't go cheap. If you have an E63 AMG, guys, please don't cheap out on parts, and please make sure you take it to a reputable shop, because these cars, you can't want to, cheap out on labor and parts. You're just gonna set yourself up for a future failure. I think that's about it. Other than so the car came with BC forged wheels, which forged wheels are much stronger than your typical wheel. So because of the state of New York roads, my passenger front wheel got cracked. I got it repaired, it cracked again. I got it repaired again, and it cracked again. So we actually had to replace the wheels, and because the car came with these wheels, I was unable to find out the offset of the wheels, the actual spec of the wheel. I even checked the back of the wheel, and it looks like whatever sticker was on there with the measurements got taken off. So I couldn't replace that one wheel, which sucks because BC Forged are not cheap. So we had to get a new set of BC Forged wheels, which was great. BC Forged wheels are very expensive. The set we currently have is over $4,000. That's because we went, with a custom finish. We went with brushed clear. You guys have seen my wheels before. It's beautiful. I think it fits the Zigno diamond white paint very well. Anyways, I think that's about it as far as problems with the car. Let's get into some modifications that I have done since I got the car. So the first thing that I've done, I actually switched from DME tuning to Eurocharge, because I've been with Eurocharge for 4 years with the old car, and now a year and a half with the new car. So, and they've always been good to me. They always keep in contact. Never any issues with the tune. There's tunes that are conservative, and there's tunes that are very aggressive that max everything out. I would say Eurocharge is in the middle. They're not the fastest. In my opinion, they're the most reliable, just based on my personal experience. But I've really enjoyed working with those guys. I'm sponsored by Wilson Motorworks in Jersey. That's my guy. He does everything on my car, tunes it, anything I need, hooks me up. So shout out to Wilson Motorworks if you guys need any work done. Those guys are good. We also have a couple other shops we work with in New York. If you guys need something, definitely reach out to me, and I'll put you guys on to some really good guys that specialize in AMGs. You don't, as I said before, you don't want to take these cars to any shop that don't know these cars. So big shout out to Wilson Motorworks. Now let's get into the modifications that we've done the modifications that I've done since I've taken the car. First thing I did was contacted my guys at Black Boost, and they supplied me with a set of Black Boost intakes and blow-off valves. Amazing. You guys don't understand how much I love my intakes. Every car that I get, I'll probably have Black Boost intakes. So check them out. We do have a coupon code online. Reach out to me on Instagram. I'm more than happy to share that information with you. The next mod that we did was we got a front mount heat exchanger from CSF to help us with intake temperatures. As you guys know, IATs on these cars with turbos, they can get very high. So I figured, we live in New York, we do have the different seasons, summer, winter, whatever. But in the summertime, I wanted to make sure the cooling on the car is on point. So we added a CSF heat exchanger, which works amazing. On top of that, I added a Snow Performance meth injection system. But we're not using the meth to increase octane. We're just using the meth for cooling. So the car is not tuned for meth. We're just using it to increase, to help with IATs. So, and the car drives amazing. I gotta tell you guys, the meth system definitely changed the feel of the car, and now the car shoots flames because of the meth system, which I really enjoy. What else did we do? I did mention we changed the wheels. I think that was about it. We added intakes, blow-off valves, we retuned the car, we changed the wheels. and I think, and the heat exchanger, and I think that's it. So overall, within the year and a half that I've owned this car, I've dailied it. As you guys heard, I put 38,000 miles on it in a year and a half. So I've driven it. I do oil changes every 5,000. I used to do it at 3,000, but 5,000 is just a better interval for me. I know a lot of guys do it at 3. More power to you. I know it's recommended for Mercedes-Benz at 10,000, but I personally think that's too long, especially for a car that's modified with all the parts that I have. I think 5,000 is a good way to do your oil change. Spark plugs on our cars are due every 30,000. I would recommend doing them every 15, even 10, if you can. It's very expensive, but depending on how you drive your car, if you beat on it, those spark plugs need to be replaced. I do mine every 15. I should be doing it every 10, but again, I take really good care of my car. I let it warm up before I even go over certain speeds. I let the car, cool off. Like if I know I'm going to get to my destination in 10 minutes, I'm not beating on the car for that last 10 minutes. I'm cruising, I'm making sure the temps come down. You just have to be aware of certain things when you own a performance car, especially one that's heavily modified like my car. And you just got to take care of it. It's your car, you're paying for it. You might as well maintain it. A lot of people get mixed up with modifying over maintaining. If your car is not maintained properly and you modify it, you're putting yourself at so much risk, and I don't think it's worth it. So I highly recommend keeping up on your maintenance of your cars if you're going to modify it to the level that that I modify my vehicle and other people do. So I just want to give you guys as much advice as possible to make sure your car is maintained, and don't be afraid of getting an E63. It's not, these cars are very, very manageable cars. The driving is smooth. Like, it's not a car that's trying to kill you every time you get in. You can actually drive these cars and enjoy them, but I would say you have to have a backup fund for maintenance, because things will go wrong and you have to make sure you have the money to take care of it. So it's a good idea to put some money away. I'd say, if I had to tell you guys an amount to put away for if something happens to these cars, I would say 2 to 3 grand you should just have on reserve, just in the event you need something like an axle, or like, if you have to do a B service and the trans service, that's almost 2 grand right there for maintenance. So if something breaks, you're looking at more. So it's always good to have a backup fund when you have a car like this. But overall, I highly recommend the 2018 E63S. I think they're great cars. They're all-wheel drive. They have good power from the factory. As long as you can afford it and afford to maintain it, absolutely amazing cars. Obviously, it's comparable to the BMW M5 Comp, which everyone knows, stock for stock, it's quicker. Even if you just do stage 1, ECU and downpipes on both cars, the M5 has the edge because that motor has been out longer. They've basically got that motor down pat. The E63 motor, as you know, it's a variant of the C63 motor, but we're not quite there yet. But I do think if you fully build both cars, do like everything, upgraded turbos, fuel pumps, I think the E63 would take the edge because the motor is stronger. But the M5 is a great car if you're cross-shopping them. I really like M5 comps, but if I had to choose, obviously you guys know I'm an AMG guy. I love the AMG. I think it's a bit more luxury than performance. You get a better balance, whereas the M5 is more like performance, straight performance, and obviously a little bit of luxury. Not a little bit, a great deal of luxury, but depends on what you want. Hell, if I can get both cars, I would gladly take both, but when it comes down to it, it's all personal preference. They're both great cars. Like, it all depends on, do you care if someone else is 0.1 second faster than you? That gets old really quick, especially when you're the one footing the bill to repair everything when it breaks. Don't care what people say. Care about your opinion, your personal preference, and what you want. They're both great cars. Anyways, I'm driving my E63 right now, as you guys can see. I had the custom steering wheel by Got the Wheel, and I think that's about it for this video, guys. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update, quick, opinion on my owning a 2018 E63 coming from a 2015 E63. Anyways, hope you guys liked the video. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Let me know in the comments of what you guys want to see. What's your opinion on the car? Have you guys had an E63 before? Anything you guys want to put in the comments, I really appreciate it. I try to get back to everyone. And follow us on Instagram. It's _AMG_NYC. Or follow my personal Instagram, AMG_Pep. Thanks, guys. See you guys in the next one.